Okay. Hi, good day, everyone. It's a pleasure to be able to speak with you today about the activities that are conducted by the Root and Tuber Crops Unit at the Research Division. It is lunchtime now, and it's a pleasure while you're having your lunch to be able to chat with you. Important work that is being done by the Research Division. So just permit me to share my screen, get straight into the presentation. Okay, so the Root and Tuber Crops Unit at the Research Division, we are already part of the crop subdivision of the Research Division. Our vision is to be the leading agency to conduct reliable research and to provide research results that positively impact the development of the root crop sector and to encourage sustainable food production in the country. Our mission is to improve the competitiveness and sustainability of the farming community by sharing accurate and relevant knowledge, skills, and information. The main objective of the Research Division is to undertake research in root and tuber crops in support of agricultural development in the country. Some of these activities that we are involved in is the characterization and yield evaluation of 5 varieties of sweet potato. And with this particular research, what is done is the varieties are assessed for, we look at the morphological characteristics, we look at the leaf shape, length of the petiole, the color of the petiole, we look at the young shoots, the leaf color, we look at the apex, we look at the vine characteristic, we look at the tuber characteristic, the external color, the internal color. We also run biochemical evaluations to determine the starch, the dry matter, the total soluble sugars. And as you know, sweet potato, there are many varieties. You have yellow varieties, orange varieties, white varieties, and so forth. Another research that we are involved in currently is the evaluation of yam propagation using vine cutting technique for the production of seed tubers. As you know, in order to be able to regenerate or to replant yams, you have to take a part of the tuber. So with this particular technique, we're trying to evaluate using the stem cuttings of the yam vine to be able to produce seed tubers for planting material. This research is threefold, and basically it is the evaluation of rooting of 3 varieties of yam, Afu, Ibu, and Chinese yam. We use 5 media: compost, promix, red sand, sharp sand, and distilled water as the media. We evaluated the rooting of these. The best media was then selected, and stem cuttings were taken from 30 varieties of yams, placed in a humid chamber, and monitored. At sprouting, these yams, the yam plantlets, were then separated, and we are in the process now of hardening the plantlets to establish in the field and to further evaluate. Another research project we are currently involved in is the preliminary morphological characterization of 5 yam varieties using international guidelines. And this is basically recording data on the entire growth cycle of the 5 varieties of yams. And we look at things like we characterize at 20 days, where we will look at the stem color, absence and presence of the wing and wing color. absence and presence of hairs, absence and presence of spines on the vines. We look at mature stem characterization. We look at the twining habit, the direction of twining, the number of stems per plant, the stem diameter, the stem cross-section and shape. Leaf characterization is also done, both of the young leaves and the mature leaves. We look at the leaf color, the leaf margin color, petiole color, leaf position, and leaf type. Tuber characterization is done, and we look at the number of tubers, the shape, the tendency of the tuber to branch, the tuber width, length, what is the appearance of the tuber, is it prickly, does it have roots, is it wrinkly, does it have blisters. We also look at the inflorescence, the position, the type, length, and the number of inflorescences per plant. Another research project is the characterization of 6 cassava varieties to determine morphological and agronomic descriptors. Here we evaluate the entire growth cycle of the varieties, and we look at the total number of tubers that are produced, how many of those tubers are commercial tubers. We assess the tubers for starch, for dry matter, and all of this is in keeping with trying to classify the best use of the particular cultivar. If it is best for flour, if it is best for fresh boiling, if it is best for mash and farine and other agro processed products. Apart from this, we also characterize morphologically. We look at the color of the stem, we look at the branching pattern of the stems, we look at the constrictions on the tuber, we look at the shape of the tuber, we look at the color of the tuber as well as the color of the root cortex. We evaluate also for pest and disease incidents. Another major function of the root and tuber crops unit at the research division is to conserve the gene bank. At the research division, we have a root crop gene bank comprising of 32 accessions of yams, 49 accessions of cassava, and 55 varieties of sweet potato. These were collected over a number of years, locally as well as the varieties that came into the country. They were, of course, multiplied via tissue culture and planted and evaluated in the field. Some of the accessions of yam include Lisbon, the butterfly, Afu, Ibu, Ramlal, St. Vincent Red, to name a few. Some of the cassava varieties include MX, MCOL, Seat Hybrid. We have Maracas Black Stick, Blue Stick, Butter Stick. Some of the varieties of sweet potato include Chickenfoot, Carrot, Sentinel, Nina, Maggie, 049, and others. The activities in the management of the gene bank include: we regenerate the varieties annually to maintain genetic integrity. We evaluate varieties for tolerance to pests and diseases. We look at character traits suitable for agro-processing and value added. We evaluate yield so that we would recommend varieties to enhance our domestic food security. We look at tolerance to climate change, which varieties are doing well in the dry season with limited water, which varieties are able to tolerate excessive rainfall. All of this information, we have an informal database at the research division that is maintained. Another main function of the root and tuber crops unit at the research division is to provide service and technology transfer activities. We provide technical support and information on root and tuber crops. We provide high quality, high yielding variety and planting material to stakeholders. We participate in exhibitions, fairs, and displays. Some of these photos show some of the planting material techniques. If you have very limited planting material, we are able to show you the mini set techniques to be able to get maximum plants from the limited planting material that you have. We also provide planting material, small amounts upon request. We do demonstrations with technology. In this case, this is a cassava harvester that is being demonstrated here in this photo. We also conduct demonstrations on skill sharing. We show you how to propagate root crops. We also recently we had a demonstration on how to use a cassava mechanical planter for planting cassava. We take part in workshops and fairs and such activities. We also conduct farmer field schools. This project here was in collaboration with FAO, where we actually grew the crop of cassava with the farmers, different varieties using good agricultural practices to show how important it is when using good agricultural practices, the difference in yield. We also conduct farm visits in the field to be able to look at your production system and advise so that you would be able to optimize and foster efficient systems. Some of the bulletins that are available that give agronomic guides as to how to grow root crops that are available via the ministry's website are the agronomy of major root and tuber crops grown in Trinidad, Root Crop Bulletin 1, a guide to growing cassava successfully, a guide to growing dasheen successfully, a guide to growing sweet potatoes successfully, and a guide to growing yams successfully. We also have a fact sheet on the cassava hornworm management. Apart from these, should any information be required for root and tuber crops, you can reach out to us at the Ministry of Agriculture, the Research Division, and we would be able to provide the relevant information with regards to other root crops, not only these, but eddos and saffron and ginger and others. Should you need to contact us, you can do so via emailing the director at researchdivision@gmail.com, a letter to the director at Research Division, Central Experiment Station, Caroni Nodebank Road, Centeno, via regional administration offices or county extension officers or extension officers, via calling us directly at the Research Division at 646-4335-7, or you can come in at the Research Division and speak with us. In order to request planting material, you would need to reach out to us in advance so that we would be able to prepare the material for you. Also, this material sharing is based on the availability of the planting material at that time. For further questions, inquiries, and comments after this presentation, kindly email teocropcs@gmail.com. Thank you. Okay, I would just like to say that my name is Nerissa. I'm the agronomist at the Root and Tuber Crops unit. And in this particular unit, we have a small cadre of staff. We have Ms. Wahida Ali Ragbir, who is the Agricultural Officer 1 in the unit. We have Mr. Manmohan Lalshan Vine, who is our Agricultural Technical Aid, and we have Mr. Tevin Morris, an OJT assigned to this unit for a short period of time. So I would like to open the floor now for questions and comments on the presentation.
Interesting.
Sure. Okay, so no, the yam collection at the research division, Kush Kush is one of the varieties that needs to be cultivated in situ, meaning in a specialized growing environment. So the research division, after trying on many occasions to add Kush Kush into its ex situ or field gene bank, we were unsuccessful. So further work would have to be done on that particular variety of yam. Okay, so basically to seek our assistance with regards to training in micropropagation, all that is required is an email to the director or the technical officer crops, indicating some information as to the size of the group and the location, the areas that you are interested in getting training, and this information will come to the unit. We will then prepare our props and our aids and so forth, and then we will make contact with you to execute the training. Yes, you would be able to come to the office and you would be able to speak with us with regards to guides to produce sweet potato from planting to harvesting. Great. So I thank you again for your attention. I hope this feature was informative and that we at the Root Crop Unit are always available to provide assistance to farmers as well as everyone who are interested in root crops. So seek us out and have some dialogue with us, and hopefully we will be able to answer most of the issues and questions. So I thank you again. Bye.